Alright, I should be live now. Let me do one thing really quick and we'll start the tournament up. Welcome everyone. Now it is raining. I presume nothing should happen with my internet, but considering I do have fiber, but you never know. On the off chance something does happen. Oops, I have Twitch open. Give me 1 second. On the off chance something does happen, we'll just continue it offline. No big deal. Yes, let me start the tournament. All right, starting up the tournament, generating bracket. Here we go. All right, everyone, let me post it in the chat as well. Tourney is live. Find your opponents. All right, everybody has their opponents. Let's see what that. That's a pretty big tournament right there. That's pretty nice. I'm actually pretty proud of that one. Second noob tourney, and that they both have a pretty good turnout, right? Oh yeah, let me open up chat again. Open up chat. There we go. Hey, what's up, Bill Nye? Now, I did take off the delay, unlike last time. So, if there's a delay, it should be very, very tiny, very minuscule. But yeah, so we have yeah, pretty high turnout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, unless I'm counting wrong, matches in total. So about 22 players. That's fantastic. Wow. Okay. Usually you don't see that many players unless it's like a tourney. But hopefully people can find their matches. Let me see if I can find any to join. Here we go. There's one right there. Spectate. Hop in on this one. Let me take off the browser. There we go. Throw that blocker up. If I can find it. There we go. Alright, so first round will be on, the first round will be on Crater of Decay. I love this map. I haven't seen that much in tourneys recently, but it is one of my favorite maps that have come out on Total Tavern. There's a lot of newer maps as well that I've included because I haven't seen any of them in actual play. So, aside from one, which I think was description, let's see, the Chateau de Roquefort. I've seen that one. Oh, I've also seen Stonehenge. So the ones I haven't seen are Sunken Mire, Hag's Conclave, and Twilight Forest. So those should be fun to watch. Let me check how my Twitch stream is doing as well. Let me change this stuff. New. Because I'm also streaming on Twitch for people who don't like watching through YouTube. First one. Let me add the tournament to the title. There we go. War 3. All right. Now this might take a little while longer, considering it is a new tourney, so we have to be a little patient with the players. But hopefully, it shouldn't take as long as it did last time. Well, like in the best of 3 that I did. Hopefully, it should go smoother and cleaner. But you never know. Things happen. People kind of take a while to build their armies. Even I still build up my army very slowly for somebody who knows how to play the game, for nobody who's played the game since Warhammer 2, early Warhammer 2, even Warhammer 1. And when you're a noob, you don't know what to expect usually from other people. Especially considering the other person is typically a noob. So you're not sure what they're going to bring. In this case, we got Beastman and Lizardman, I presume. And if so, Beastman, this is kind of a tough matchup for Beastman simply because of how cost-effective Saurus are, but Saurus were actually nerfed recently. I think it was in terms of melee attack. I think they lost melee attack, so they don't blend through units as much as they did before. So Saurus still might beat most of your gore herds and your ungores. I think I'd have to test that out. I don't know how effective they are at that, but nowadays you're going to mostly see skinks. You might see some Saurus, but typically you're probably going to see mostly skinks paired up with Croxagores, because Croxagores paired up with skinks, they have a bonus for each other. The both the skinks and the Croxagores, they get, let me check here. So skink cohorts have the attribute skink. If they're near a Croxagore, they can cause fear. If Croxagores are near skinks, then they get a weapon strength buff, I believe. Yes. So Croxagores have Spawnkin, which gives 10% weapon damage to both their armor piercing and base weapon damage. So if you're typically with, that's why you're typically going to see mostly a skink and Croxagore front line in more competitive play. But obviously this is a new tourney, so we don't know what we'll see. Maybe we'll see the old typical Saurus meta, which is, again, spamming Saurus and just letting them blend through gore herds and ungore chaff. But again, who knows? But another thing is for this matchup is that, just in general, how do you counterplay it for both factions? Okay, so if you're the Beastman, you typically want to maybe bring. I'll wait till after both players are ready and gone, just in case anybody's listening in. Obviously, I try to trust most of my players, but that's what the blocker's there for. But just to be safe. But typically, I would put Lizardman ahead in this matchup. Alright, so we're loading in. Let me take off the blocker. So, for the Lizardman, we're going to have Tahenwin. Already after my own heart. I appreciate the Lizardman player here. Tahenwin is so fun. He's such a cool lord, but not great in competitive play. He sucks. He's a beast caster, which is and you can spam Flock of Doom, which is okay, but he's just he's too expensive for a beast caster. When you could take the Slann. Slann did get HP nerfs, but in general they're still better. Tahenwin, he has some items which are, his items in general are just kind of meh. But he can also ride a Razordon. He can also, not a Razordon, I think it's a Razordon, yeah. And he can also get on his solar engine, Mr. which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely rooting for the Lizardman here. Yes, freaking Engine of the Gods. How you do not see this in competitive play because Engine of the Gods is just rubbish, but it is such a cool unit. Anyways, for Tahenwin, we have the Burning Alignment, which comes with the Engine of the God, as you can see. Pretty good AP damage, magic, and fire, but it is very slow in build up. You'll see in game. Flock of Doom for the spells, along with Curse of Anra here, and Arcane Configuration. Well, I think Arcane Configuration actually just comes with the Engine of the Gods, I believe. But he also has one of his items, Plaque of Sotek, which grants that 20% ward save and leadership whenever he's casting. So whenever he's spamming Flock of Doom, he can get that 20% ward save for about, let's see how long. 21 seconds? That's pretty good. That's not bad. But, you have to be spamming Flock of Doom. You also get 5% ward save for 35 meter range with all your allies, which is not bad. So front line is mostly Saurus. We do have some Skink Skirmishers, which is the right choice. Chameleon Skinks typically aren't worth it. You don't really need them for their missile resistance. Skink Skirmishers do the job. They're much more cost effective. We also have an Ancient Salamander, which is going to be great at picking off any Ungor Raiders. They have really good missile strength at 70-65 with that explosive 85 and 34. So very good explosive radius and damage on that Salamander. I love it. One of my favorite units on the Lizardman roster. We do also have Bastillodon with Rev Crystal, which you need for a very big piece like Teheniwini. Gotta heal him up because he doesn't have any healing himself. Xenagors with throwing axes. You're gonna need, again, another staple for the Beastman side. You're gonna need them to be dealing with any dinosaurs. Butchers of Kalkin Guard as well. ROR Minotaurs, fantastic. Another anti-dinosaur unit there. They don't have anti-large, but they do have heavy AP. They also have regeneration as well, plus ITP from that. I think it's from Bloodgreed. Yes, from Bloodgreed to get ITP plus a bunch of melee stat buffs as well for each kill. Ungor Raiders as well for that volley of fire, core herds, and a Brave Shaman of Wild on foot with, I know he's on Chariot with Traderkin. Just going to be spamming that Traderkin. Traderkin did get nerfed, but it's still good. And yeah, Skink Skirmishers are already summoned in. Good call there. The more Skink Skirmishers, the better. A little bit of lag, unfortunately, which is not great. Hopefully, I'm not the cause of the lag. If so, I will dip out 100% and let them play. We do have another Skink Skirmisher summoned in as well to try to mitigate the Xenagors. Teheniwini has casting that Flock of Doom for that 20% ward save to mitigate some of that damage. We're pretty smart there by the Lizardman player, just soaking up a lot of those axes while also granting his Skink Skirmishers time to get those javelins in. A little bit more lag, unfortunately, but yeah, Teheniwini is going to want to back out there. He doesn't want to take too many volleys, especially considering his ward save is now down, only having that 5%. He does have, does he have any missile resistance? He does 15%, which is not bad. It helped mitigate some of that damage, but it's still only 15%. So, Rev Crystal charge going down on Teheniwini for the first time. Skink Skirmishers do not have missile resistance again, but it doesn't matter because the Xenagors are using their AP axes on them instead of the dinosaurs, which is great. So point 1 is probably going to be going in the hands of the Lizardman. Point 2, actually this is the little, yes, this is an additional, this is the spawn point. This unlocks a spawn point. So, wait, what am I talking about? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, this, I forgot this spawn point exists. So once you capture this, you can spawn from behind them on the opponent side, which is pretty great. So the Beastmen are going to take this spawn point, which is going to be fantastic for the Beastmen, so they can spam in Ungors and Goreherd from behind. But point 3 has been taken by Beastmen. Their home objective, same with point 2 for the Lizardmen. Not much contest from the Beastmen side for point 1 so far. Also forgot to mention the Gorble. Gorble is going to be good anti-large AP unit for dealing with dinosaurs as well. For the Beastman side. Skink Skirmisher being caught up there. Lizardman players micros being stretched out a little bit. Unfortunately, both of them get terrified by the Minotaurs. It's really, really rough, but they should come back here soon. Though, and also, as well, their missiles should poison these Minotaurs, slowing them down. But the issue is that they're so caught up already is that they're going to get that charge speed bonus, so the Skink Skirmishers aren't going to be able to get away, unfortunately. I say that, but we have the Pohopped cohort, the Code 1 Spear Rider ROR coming in here to save the day. I don't think they're going to be able to save the Skink Skirmishers, actually. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they come back. They lost a big chunk of life there, but they're still up. But they're here. They're going to run down these Butchers of Falcon Guard, who run back smartly by the Bismarck player. Traderkin overcasted, hitting both Teheniwini, Saurus, hitting both the Saurus warriors and Teheniwini. Teheniwini needs to back out of here, actually. He does not want to be fighting the Gorble. Lizardman player needs to watch out there. On the other hand, on 1.1, we do have one of these Skink Skirmishers run off. I don't know if they pushed a little too far, but nonetheless, we'd have Saurus up here on the point, and there's a Salamander helping deal with those Xenagors. Burning Alignment goes down, does a little damage to the Ungors. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a whole lot. Continues going. Will it hit the other Ungor Raider before they move? Yeah, unfortunately, it will not. Yeah, these Tahanowin is pushing way too far, and Lizardman player needs to pull out the pull-up cohort because they're just fighting amongst infantry, which is not great. They don't want to be doing this. They have not great melee defense stats, and they're bonus versus large specialized infantry. But, in the other hand, they do have the engagement with the Butchers of Kalkan Guards. So, even if only a few models are in contact, they're still dealing that bonus versus large, which is great, getting those Minotaurs off the field. So, although they took a lot of damage, it was somewhat worthwhile. But yes, Tahanowin needs to be pulled back. He is getting into those Ungor Raiders, but that's not the job he needs to be doing at the moment with that Gorbel hunting him down. You need to send some cold ones in instead. We do have some Centaurs summoned in as well. Here you can see that back point coming into play. Centaurs come in, get that charge in on the scheme skirmishers, get that offline. Throw cold ones, trying to help with that those Centaurs, but it's not really doing much. It's too late. Ancient Salamander is caught up by Centaurs, but it needs to be pulled out of here because I believe they do still throw their throwing axes in melee. I mean, the Ancient Salamander can handle itself. They do have okay stats at. Let me see. I forgot. Let me go. I can't grab it onto it, but they do have okay stats. Like I think it's like 30-40, both melee attack and melee defense. Over here, Overcast Traderkin hitting again another big Lizardman blob, and this is really tough here because Tahanowin is down to 3,100 HP. The Lizardman player needs to watch out. Tahanowin is a very expensive centerpiece. Did we get another Rev Crystal? Yes, we did another Rev Crystal charge on top of him, getting that 0.5% heal on top of him. Going to help out a little bit. He's going to be reaching his heal cap somewhat soon. So again, you just really have to watch out here. These Minotaurs with great weapons are going to do fantastic work against him. And there's not a lot of infantry support. I mean, we do have one Sauri here, along with the cohort. But again, you still don't want Tahanowin in the middle of all of this. Along with the Ungor Raiders firing as well. And your Ungor Raiders are getting the volley of fire in on Tahanowin as well. But we do have one engaged by cold ones. Smartly played. We have another Flock of Doom hitting both of these. Going to be pretty good. Going to whittle them down a little bit. Saurus Warriors cleaning up these Ungor herds. Going to start pushing in, hopefully, towards the other objective. We also have Razor Gore herds summoned in. They do have some pretty good AP. Pitiful melee and attack and defense, but decent charge bonus at 46. They can help out with these cold ones, which are going to get a rear charge on. Another Burning Alignment, hopefully it hits. I think the Beastman player is going to notice, however. Oh, yeah. Again, yeah, see, it's just way too slow. But it is cool to see. It does a little damage, a little tickle damage there. It doesn't completely kill them off, most likely. And how are we looking over here? Saurus Warriors are still pushing back. I'm surprised the Razor Gore herd didn't get that charge in on the Saurus instead to stop them from moving. But we do have some Ungors in the back line. Boy, this lag is kind of rough sometimes, but it's not entirely throughout the entire match, so that's good. We're going to have some more Saurus summoned in as well. Going to get some more infantry on the point values. Looking like it's 7,000 and almost 5,900 for the Lizardman side. Tickets wise, we are looking to be ahead for the Lizardman, but that by no means means that the Lizardmen are going to don't lose this by chance. They could easily lose this. Especially if the Gorbel continues to hit Tahanowin for free. What is his value looking at right now? 898. It's not too shabby. He also could be beating. He also could get knocked around a bit. He's a small target, easily jumbled about and surrounded. Another Rev Crystal charge. Where's it going to Tahanowin again? Yes, it is. He's down to 1,400 HP, and he's being surrounded once again by Minotaurs who get punted back. We do have some Croxagore summoned in as well, who been doing okay work so far, up to 39 kills, 318 value, and there goes Tahanowin. Yeah, it's just a really big loss there for the Lizardman side. We're going to get that leadership debuff on all the infantry, minus 16. Luckily, Lizardmen have pretty solid base leadership at 75, but that's still not good at all. Especially if they're winning their engagement. They have let's see, not Croxagores. Saurus, if you're winning your fight, I think it's 8 or 6. Yeah, it's 6 if you're winning your combat. So apparently they're still winning this combat against Butchers. I think it's because of the Rev Crystal, but nonetheless. Luckily, that keeps them in the fight, even after Tanwin died. Centaurs blocking up the King Skirmishers. Really well played there by the Beastmen, making sure these King Skirmishers can't get to the field as... Rather, they will get to the field soon, but they will... they are stalled for the meanwhile, not able to get their missiles in the first... For the first 10 minutes of them being spawned in. Saurus warriors being ran over by butchers and rather by minotaurs and centaurs, but look at all how many units are being used here to wipe out these Saurus. Only one unit needs to be sent, rather, to continue chasing that Saurus, while the rest of them need to go on to point 1 and help out, or the point 2 and help out, or go to point 1, because there's only one Saurus here. One is being mitigated elsewhere back to point 2, so point 1 is definitely open for the taking, and these centaurs could definitely do it, especially with the help of these minotaurs coming over. We have some Ungors in the back line, just finishing chasing off these cold ones. Point still in the lead for the Lizardmen, though, and they are still heavy. They still have that cap weight as well from point 2. We don't have a whole lot of the Beastman's side at the moment. Razor hordes are the only things on the point, really, besides the Great Bray Shaman. These Ungor Raiders are under fire by these King Skirmishers, and some Saurus are just grinding away at those Razor Horde. We do have some Ungor Raiders as well coming over. And exactly as I said, they are going to be able to start taking point 1 from the Lizardmen. We'd have the Butchers coming, rather the Minotaurs, I keep calling them the Butchers. The Minotaurs coming over, going to take these Saurus to Bound Town. Yeah, they do not like fighting Minotaurs on their own. I mean, just from that charge bonus, that's going to 34, and then that bonus versus infantry as well from the Blood Greed. I mean, bonus versus infantry, and then the armor piercing from the Blood Greed as well. Yeah, look at that. Those Saurus are gone, especially with that rear charge from the Centaurs, and then yeah, they're off the point. So now point 1 will be going to the hands of the Beastmen. Gorbul is also going to be going over to that point as well to solidify that hold. So now this could be dangerous for the Lizardmen. They don't have a solid enough hold for them to win the game with just 1 point. They're going to need to take one of these points back soon. They still have a little bit of time, obviously. They're only the opponent's only up to 600 points, while their Lizardmen is up to 900. But that means that's only 200 points away, or 300 points away. So gotta be careful. Little one's coming back and try to get a charge on those Gore Herd, but are going to be stopped by the Gorbul. Well played by the Beastman side. What kind of Lizardmen bring out here? They have some King Skirmishers. They could capture this point, stopping the Beastmen from vanguarding them, or rather from spawning in their back objective, which is good. That is a smart play there by the Lizardman side. This is a very important point here, because it could mean the difference between you holding on to your home point. And before that point gets taken, we do have another Gore Horde summoned in, stopping these Croxagores, and which is not great, because those Croxagores can be fairly important. Unfortunately, the Centaurs will be able to run down this King Skirmisher, however, so that point, if it does go into the Lizardman's hands, will go back to the Beastman's hands immediately after. Gorbul, yikes, that lag is unfortunate, but hopefully the game keeps going on. We'd have Tahanawin coming over, which is, I'm not sure about that. That's a lot of points you're spending there to bring back Tahanawin. It can be quite deadly, but the issue is that at this point you need more bodies on the field. You need a lot more bodies in the field, because all your Saurus are practically on 1 point at the moment. You don't have anything else. I'd also even possibly bring in maybe the Ancients. I would have probably brought in the Ancient Salamander again, simply to try to screen out the Centaurs and the throwing axes. Even hitting the Minotaurs, they could be pretty good at hitting the Minotaurs. But yeah, if you're going to bring Tahanawin in, you don't want him fighting the Gorbul again. Please don't lose Tahanawin again to the Minotaurs. Another Flock of Doom spam. Another Flock of Doom hit, rather, into these Centaurs. But yeah, there he goes, gets surrounded again. He also doesn't have the Rev Crystal this time to heal him up. This could be the costly mistake for the Lizardmen here, and this could lead to Beastmen winning. Centaur is also stopping up these King Skirmishers as well from shooting, which is not great. These Saurus need to be pulled over to at least help Tahanawin, because they could screen out some of the hits from the Gorbul and the Minotaurs, but they're just sitting idly by as they watch these Ungors are also as well just getting free shots into the back of the Saurus warriors. Their back is faced to them, so I mean they don't even have shields in the first place. So, but nonetheless, these Saurus warriors could be pushing up to maybe try to screen out these Senegors or these Ungors. Not sure, but it's really rough there. Or at least sending these cold ones, because I know these Saurus would probably just get run over by the Senegors, but they aren't great in melee in the first place. Though we do have an overcasted Traderkin hitting this entire blob again. Another fat Traderkin. What is that? Does that hit Tenuin this time? No, it doesn't, luckily. But what is that value looking like for the Great Brave Shaman? 1400. Not bad, not bad. Another Burning Alignment. Will it hit this time? Yeah, I'm thinking it might, but it doesn't do that great against Cav, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, you know, not too shabby there. That was okay. Yeah, I think this is going to unfortunately start going in the hands of the Beastmen, because especially if Tehanuin falls again, because that's another big loss of supply points. Up to 900 already. Now only a 140 point difference there for the Lizardmen and Beastmen side. King Skirmishers coming over. They might be able to take point 1 back. They don't know that the Ungors are there though, because they are hidden. They do have I think they have stock or something like that. Or no, it's just because, yeah, they have stock. So, or most of the Beastmen infantry does. So, the Lizardman player does not know that these guys are here, and I don't think the Scheme Skirmishers could finish them off. And do you think that the Scheme Skirmishers also have stock? Yes? No, it's just, I think they're just Chameleon Skinks. Yeah, Chameleon Skinks are the only ones that have it. Yeah, point 2 is now taken by the Beastmen, and I think that's going to be sealing the deal there for the Lizardman side. Again, it is entirely possible for the Lizardman to come back. It's just very unlikely, simply because of how little they have on the field. Another Traderkin on top of Tehanuin, and the Lizardman player again is just gonna lose Tehanuin again. So I think this is done for. At this point is when you'd probably bow out, but nonetheless, not everybody knows that yet. Yeah, exactly. 6 versus 17 troops. Yeah, there's really not much the Lizardman can do anymore, unfortunately. And that is kind of why you typically see more Skinks nowadays than Saurus, simply because, at least in your back pocket, because Saurus are, one, not super cheap. They're 800 each supply point, each set of supplies. And not only that, they're kind of slow. You need Skinks to get to the point as fast as possible, and they're quite speedy for infantry units. They will obviously lose a lot of their fights to most of the Beastmen chaff, or most of the Beastmen infantry, but that's not the point. When you need something on the points themselves to contest them while your Saurus get to the field. I think definitely the critical juncture, or rather the critical turn point of this match was the loss of Tehanuin. Letting Tehanuin go down was a really, really big loss, and leaving only one Saurus on your side point was what gave the Beastmen room to take that point. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's practically no Skinks on the back pocket there. I would definitely take out a few things, to say the least. First off, Tehanuin. I love Tehanuin. I love his Engine of the Gods mount, but as cool and thematic as it is, it's way too expensive, and it's not worth it. If you want to bring Tehanuin, I'd bring him on a Razordon, on a cold one, a horned one rather. I don't know if he has a cold one or a horned. I think it's a cold one. But either way, I'd bring him on a separate mount that's much cheaper, and just have Flock of Doom. None of his items. That would give you so much more room in terms of value, or in terms of money, to be able to spend your money. You could be able to get a lot more Skinks in both your first army and your back army as well. Your reinforcements. Everything else is fine. The Saurus are still good, but again, they need support. If typically I'd have at least like 4 Skink Skirmishers already off the bat in the first army, simply just to screen out any Senegors or throwing axes. But Ancient Salamander's good. The Rift Crystal is great as well, just to heal up your Ancient Salamander or any other expensive piece. Backline for your reinforcements, rather. The Pohawk Cohort are good anti-large units, though. Yeah, they're okay. I also would probably bring another Colon Spear Rider. Drop the Riprodactor Riders. That's what I was thinking of. I kept calling it a horned one. Not a horned one. Razordon. Razordons are different. Riprodactyl is what I meant to say. Rare to Hanwin. But yes, I would take out the Riprodactyls. You don't really need them here. They would do okay against clearing out the Ungor Raiders, but the AP is fairly wasted, and they're kind of squishy. If you're gonna bring a Riprodactyl, I would only bring the Colossus Hunters here just to do what the Butchers of Kalkengard or any Minotaurs with great weapons. They have anti-large and very, very good stats. Cold ones are good. I would probably bring another cold one here. Probably at least 4 or 5. I think you can bring 4 max or 5. I can't remember, but you can. I would definitely go with 4 at the very least. They're one of your most valuable pieces. They're very, very cheap and get into the back line of the enemy, and also capture points. One of your most speedy units on the Lizardman side. Good build from the Beastman as well. Yeah, solid game all around. Yeah, losing that to Hanwin so early on was not even super early. It's just like losing to Hanwin sooner than he should have been lost was very detrimental to the Lizardman side. Let's check out how the other games went. But solid, yeah, solid game from both players. Solid first showing. Really good close match. Not super close, but you know what I mean. What are the fights looking like? What do we got here for the bracket? Let's check it out. So for the bracket, Astro beat Soulborn, as we saw. Bungo versus beat Tolkis. Esambito beat Lahoot. Lord Baconbane, which I've seen before, has beat Hard Boiled. Ferricus has beat Drofgod. Fistful has beat Christophers. Scared Youth beat Fart Joke. Jack has won their match. Frost Fanes has lost theirs. I would say their name, but I'm not even going to attempt to because that's just ridiculously long. Hasninia up against Sarni. Harkin versus Rare. We have 2 matches left. But people have been, pretty much on time with their games. Nice. I'm glad to see it. I don't know. I do think the Ancient Alley has a place in most matches. It's okay in Beastman. I don't think it's imperative to bring, but it's okay. It can do some decent work. But again, yeah, that AP is kind of wasted. I would probably go with more Salamander hunting packs simply to deal with Minotaurs. But at the same time, they could also be fairly risky if you're a new player. You have to take care of them. So Morse King Skirmishers is a safe bet. If you want an artillery piece or something long range, you could even go with solar engines are okay, but and they're even decent in melee, but they can be surrounded, obviously, and it takes a while for them to build up their value. I would say a Troglodon could also be pretty good. You just have to be really careful with them. They can be rampaged, unfortunately, and that rampage lasts for a long time, for 40 seconds. So, but they are good anti-large hunters with those missiles. They can just pick off Minotaur models, pick off even fight in melee with Centaurs if need be, or infantry. Yeah, Ancient Salamander isn't a terrible pick there. I would even maybe consider Firely Spoilers are okay. They're just extremely risky with how much Ungor Raiders fire. How much Ungor Raider fire you're typically going to see. Yeah, Feral Cold Ones. The 4 is the max, like I assumed. Are going to be one of your most safe bets. Cold One Spear Riders to deal with any Centaurs or help deal with any Centaurs. Even Feral Cold Ones can do okay into Centaurs if they get the charge off, but they don't. I don't think they'll win it. Especially because of their lower-ish leadership and pretty pitiful melee stats. Yeah, Colossus Hunters are one of your best anti-large units for the Lizardman side. If anybody's seen my videos before, you would know how much I rave about them. But of course, those good as well. Croxagores are fine. Yeah, typically you're gonna see mostly skinks. Maybe not starting out. Maybe you can go with just the general Saurus warriors. I typically would keep a bunch of feral cold ones in the back line. No reinforcements. You can maybe just start off with 3 skink skirmishers. Bring 1 in the back as well, or 2. And javelins are great. Some more skinks in general. Even Tehanoin, like look how expensive Tehanoin is on his Bastillodon solar engine. So even if you take just Flock of Doom, on the Interstegodon he is 2250. If you bring something like a Slan Rage Priest with just Flock of Doom, let's see, and pretty much everything here is good. Everything here is fantastic. 1650. Obviously, again, he's not a good. Slan Rage Priests are not good melee fighters like Tehanoin is, and he's a decent fighter. But you can always protect them with Code 1 Spear Riders, Saurus, etc. Croxagores. Yeah, Temple Guard as well. Temple Guard are fantastic as well. You gotta be careful with them. Don't let them just take Centigore throwing axes to the face. They do have silver shields, but that's still 55%, only 55%. The other 45% is still going to be doing damage. But yeah, they also have that 15% physical resistance for that Slan Mage Priest as well. So, and not only that, Slan Mage Priests have 40% missile resist. And as you saw, compared to like the Hanuin on that big, really big piece, that can be very easily shot. He only had 15% missile resist. That's not much. Everything seemed to be done? Okay. Oh, I didn't even notice I was covering my game. Oops. Nonetheless. Let's see. Everyone seems to be done with their game. Let me advance the bracket. Double check. You're right. Advance the Swiss. Alright, everybody has their matches. Let me announce it in the Discord. Put in Alright, there we go. Yeah, that is the big bonus of Swift, which I typically kind of get tired of. That's why I did my best of. That's why I did a best of 3 tourney, my last new one. Swift's kind of just when I compete in Swift tourneys, it's nice to be able to play 4 rounds, but the issue is that they take so incredibly long. At least with best of 3s, if you get knocked out at 1 round, there you go, you're done. But you have the chance of beating them in a best of 3. There's 2 other rounds you could fight through. I mean, obviously both have their own merits. Swiss is still good. I just kind of get tired of it sometimes, but Swiss is fantastic for new players. They can play all 4 rounds. They don't take it doesn't feel like crap whenever you lose your first round because you still have 3 more rounds of matches to go. You could easily come back and end up winning the tournament. Yes. Rounds are up. Everyone go find your opponents. Let me open up Warhammer again. Yeah, as you can see, 1650. This is what I was talking about. But nonetheless, let me go find a match really quick to watch. Let's see. These don't have spectator slots. Let me wait to see if there's any ones that have spectator slots. There's this one as well. The second map will be Stonehenge. Love this map. Fairly sorry, I'm struggling for words here. It's a fairly simple map. it's literally just got 1 point right here on this on the side right here, and then it has 2 points, I think. Yeah, one back here for each player. It's fairly open, better for artillery-based factions, but that by no means means that artillery-based factions will win every match on this map. Actually, I forgot I have a blocker. Hold on. There we go. So, as I was saying, there's 1 point here on the right side. There's one big like statue or something like that. I forgot here. I think it's like literally a greenskin's poop pile. But there's a point right here to the right, and then there's 2 points for each player in there as their home objective. So again, it's very open to artillery fire, but not a lot of sneaky plays can be done here. I don't think there's any vanguards, any vanguards, but we'll see. I haven't played on it in a while. And there's also very little, no forest in general, actually. But I think we're going to have Corn versus Tomb Kings. Solid army, looks like, from both players. Oh, Jack needs to leave the tournament. Let me see. Oh, he already did it. Okay. Yeah, we have one drop so far, but luckily it's just because of the person's electricity went out, which really sucks. Now, for Corn and Tomb Kings, let me think. Corn is in general and Dom is really tough. I mean, you're mostly infantry. You do have some monstrous stuff and cav. You have no range is the point. And in Dom, missiles and artillery can be very, very detrimental and be the reason why you win or the reason why you lose. And again, Corn doesn't really have much of that aside from the skull cannon. So it's tough for them to. It's a tough matchup for them in general, but they could definitely do it. They have a lot of choices. They have Valkia, who can hunt down constructs. You have Minotaurs with great weapons. You have fast-moving infantry, or relatively fast. There we go. I must have dropped, I guess. Can people still hear me? Yeah, it seems like my internet dropped for a second there. Unfortunately for me. But if people can still hear me, that will be good to know. Let me check also as well over here on the Twitch side. Nothing is really okay. Yes, sorry about that, folks. I unfortunately dropped. But hopefully you guys can hear me again. Okay, awesome. So I will need to probably spectate another matchup. So here we go. Oh, that's not the right. Let me see. I'll spectate this one maybe. Okay. Who doesn't make their password 123? Excuse me. Yes, I guess we will not be seeing Corn versus Tomb Kings. Oh well. Sadly. Oof, game in progress. Okay. Let's see. I think most of these games are probably going to be in progress by now. Which in that case, we will watch the replay. or some sort. But let us see real quick. Click on the joining game thingy. 1 second. I hate when the lobby does this. Yeah, the lobby is kind of just bugged out, unfortunately, at the moment. I'm just gonna have to wait it out or close the game. 1 second. I'll probably just close the game. It'll probably just be faster. But unfortunately, I think we're might gonna miss out on the matches for round 2. We'll see. That's really, really unfortunate. I'm gonna leave the blocker up for now, just in case I do get into a match. I don't want to be showing anybody's armies. For some reason, it always goes to the army screen whenever you join as a spectator. Question is my game gonna work? I haven't had a crash in who knows how long, but it seems to be stuck on the load, which is fantastic. Also, hopefully my internet doesn't disconnect again as well. Might possibly. Let me check. Yeah, my internet is possibly struggling here. If we continue to have any more internet issues, I will just let the game go offline, and I will rather the tournament go offline and continue playing after, or rather cast the streams after replays. Excuse me. But we'll see. It does say I am offline, however, which is not great. Quite unfortunate, but people could always stream their games in the Discord channel as well in the meantime. Yeah, sorry about this, folks. Thought my internet would be okay today, but for some reason they messed up something. I have no idea. But in the meanwhile, let me throw that up. Let's see. Are we still facing issues? Shouldn't be. Things are loading fine now. But will the game load is the thing. Game is loading finally. But it still counts me as offline, which is oh, there we go. Okay. All right, sorry about that, folks. Somebody needed to speak to me. Anyways, There's only one lobby up, unfortunately. That is got their password locked. Let me message them, see if I can find whoever that is. But if not, we can just again cast a replay of some sorts. Actually, yeah, just in the meantime, I will cast a replay and we'll go from there. Sorry about that, folks. Just things like that happen. Battle replays, here we go. There's this one routine Romulan dog and by the dip. We'll go through and watch that one for now. But yeah, Gates of Ekrend. We have Romulan dog on the Empire and by the dip on the Lizardman. And this does have a steam tank, the volley gun one, which I actually haven't seen all that much. Usually, typically, I see the Master Engineer on a regular steam tank. But first on up, Empire side, we're going to have Karl Franz with Gao Moraz and the Reichland Runefang with, of course, his Blood Roar on that mount of his. Deathclaw. Infantry-wise, Spearman. We also have a steam tank with the volley gun. With it does have that directional missile block, which is pretty nice. That means 100% of its missile block chance from the front. So the 70%. But on the other side, on its side, it only has 50%, and the 50%, which is the shield, silver shields, and then 10%, which is copper shields or bronze shields. For range, we do have non-iron sides, 2 of them to be specific. And to be exact, and then we also have some cannons as well to be dealing with any lizardman dinosaurs or cav. Skink skirmishers will be vanguarded up front. We have just 2 of them. We also have a Bastillodon with Rev Crystal, and we have a Slan Mage Priest for the Lord with Dwellers, Banishment, and Earthblood. Let me check something really quick, guys. Chat. I'm just reconnecting chat because it kind of bugged out for a bit there. Let me pause it really quickly. There we go. Chat is no longer working for me on OBS, so let me check through YouTube really quick. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. We're back at it. Anyways, Croxagor's in the back line as well for that anti-infantry, dealing with any great swords, just state troopers in general as well. Saurus to the back line and mostly skinks. We do also have the Star Chamber Guardians, Temple Guard ROR, fantastic unit. Got that normal Temple Guard. I think normal Temple Guard. I don't think normal Temple Guard have Guardian, but these guys have Guardian at 15%. They're also unbreakable and have Charge Reflection, pretty good AP values as well, plus magic weapons. Karl Franz just being screened out a little bit, though we do have some shots in from the volley gun, doing fantastic work against those Skink skirmishers. Very, very unfortunate for them. We do have some cold ones summoned in to possibly screen out that steam tank eventually. Karl Franz is getting poked and prodded a little bit. We do have a revivification crystal used on those Skink skirmishers. Gotta keep them topped up. 0.3 is going to Lizardman and 0.1 to Lizardman as well. We also have some Chameleon Stalkers. Typically don't see these guys because they're not great, but they are one of your only Vanguard units that you have, at least for infantry. Skink skirmishers continuing to whittle down on Karl Franz. We're just going to have the steam tank continue to build up damage, chip down on those King Skirmishers. Cold Ones making their way through the forest. They King Skirmishers making their way over. Going to be able to start mitigating, or rather screening out that steam tank. So they are shooting at its front. So unfortunately, 70% of their shots are being mitigated. Or blocked, rather. We do have the Sterling's Revenge ROR, Free Company Militia, being brought over. We're able to shoot at those Croxagors. Fantastic AP, some Spearmen, and known Ironsides just sitting in the back line. We do have some State Troopers as well summoned in. We're going to be waiting for a big, probably a big movement or jump towards point 3 in a second. Both players continue to screen each other out. We do have those Kinkmen and Stalkers throwing in their volleys at the Spearmen. There's a little bit of chip damage, not a whole lot. No Ironsides getting their shots in, but those Skinks are not going to stick around for long with a rear charge from Deathclaw. There they go down to 7 leadership. Look at all, yeah, they're gone. They're not going to put out a lot of damage either, though they will put, put a little sweat on the Empire's brow, I guess. Though I think they are unfortunately wasted being sent in alone. Gonna speed it up a little bit. We also have these feral Cold Ones who have been caught out. They got on top of the Great Cannons, but they unfortunately rampaged and are surrounded by spears and finished off. Over here, these Chameleon Stalkers have been are routed off and are right next to the White Line, so unfortunately they'll be gone soon. King Skirmisher fire is kind of being mitigated a little bit by those who have bronze shields, 35%. But they are whittling them down. Steam tank probably moved up a little too far, but it's still perfectly fine. A-OK. Hasn't taken much in terms of damage. Source Warriors are pushing into their back line, getting on the Sterling's Revenge. They are going to be shot from both sides. Those lone Ironsides do fantastic work if you let them sit, because of that black powder discipline, giving that 40 accuracy and 10 reload skill, which is fantastic. Those warriors are not going to be long for this world, especially with the Outriders grenade launchers as well coming in. Warriors don't have high armor, they only have 60, so yeah, the grenade launchers are going to do tremendous work against them. However, point 3 is still in the hands of the Lizardmen, so while that is happening, while those warriors are being focused down, a lot of work is being done in terms of the tickets, and that's what matters. Another banishment from the Slam Mage Priest dropped on the Swordman. Gonna do okay work, not too bad. Did I go over what the Slam Mage Priest had? Blood, Statuette of Spite, Shield of the Old Ones, Banishment, Dwellers, and Earthblood, just in case. Earthblood, is it gonna be an Earthblood? I'm not sure what is being hit there, but Cold One Riders get us around, or rather Carl Franz jumps down on the Cold Ones and possibly routes them off, though they do go past him and get on top of the known Ironsides. Well played by the Lizardman player, pushing past Carl Franz, because they're not going to want to enjoy sitting there fighting Carl Franz. Umbral Tide is just getting some decent work into the Swordsman, though they're more an anti-large piece. They will still do okay work. One of these, just some Saurus being brought over to point 3. Point 3 is going to be kind of hard to crack, though we do have some ranged to help deal with, to help out. So Spearmen are pushing back these King Skirmishers. We also have some more Feral Cold Ones coming over as well. Star Chamber Guardians coming over to help with these Empire Knights, which have been summoned in, and running down these Cold One Riders. Empire Knights are one of your best bets for dealing with Cold Ones, because of how much they can be, how much are typically brought in Lizardman matches, though these are Cold One Riders. They're a little bit better at fighting armored cav like Empire Knights, but not with all the support from the Empire side, like the Spearmen, Carl Franz, and even known Ironsides which aren't pitiful in melee, 32-26 for a ranged unit. Slam Mage Priest is unfortunately being attacked by Carl Franz, and he's taking a lot of damage. You gotta watch out there. Misthalodon is trying to stop him, and same with the Saurus Warriors, but they don't really have the mass at the moment. They need the mass of either the Pistolodon or just these the Star Chamber Guardians to get us around on him. other side, we do have a little bit of friendly fire going on from the Umbral Tide, hitting some of these Saurus, I bet. But they are getting some nice side shots into the Spearmen. Though in return, they are being shot by the Sterling Revenge, which is it by the Sterling Revenge? Who is it by? I think it's just the Croxagores. I think they're hitting the Croxagores at the moment, which is okay. It's a good choice. But these King Cohorts are going to push past these Spearmen and get on top of them, stop them from shooting. And as well as the Umbral Tide, getting some volleys in as well. Clausen Hunters catch out these Empire Knights. Going to get a nice catch there. Going to tear apart those Empire Knights. Coral Franz is seeking out that Slan. If that Slan falls, it's going to really suck for the leadership of the Lizardmen, but Slan aren't super expensive, so he can be brought back. Should the old ones drop to help keep him in that fight, 20% ward save, and then plus 15% Fizz res from that Guardian. Though it's still not a fight he wants to take. Coral Franz is a extremely deadly fighter, especially if he has God Moraz pack popped, which he doesn't at the moment. Outriders come in, have been summoned in, and are shooting in at the Saurus Warriors. We also have the Nona Ironside still alive, getting fantastic value on the Star Chamber Guardians. Or just getting a side shot, and then they also get a rear charge from the Empire Knights. Luckily, they are unbreakable, however, so they will stick around through all of that. Jade Wizard just hanging idly by. We do have some more grenade launchers summoned in as well. Going to do really good work, or rather, these are the same ones, I'm not sure. But they're going to do great work against Saurus. They are fantastic against Saurus, and a bane for a lot of Lizardman players. I'm talking about me. Clausen Hunters seeking out any idle prey, though I think they would probably be best served on the other side. Not a whole lot of large targets at the moment on this point. Point 1 still remains in the hands of the Lizardmen, though it might end up going into the Lizardmen's, or rather to the Empire's favor if they continue pushing, because the only thing that the Lizardman player has at the moment to hold on to the point are these cohort of Huatl. And they do have the cap weight to outweight these the steam tank. I'm not sure why the steam tank has more cap weight than the Bastillodon, but nonetheless. Outrider's going to come over and possibly finish off the Star Chamber Guardians. Outriders getting some nice side volleys into the Saurus Warriors, who also get a charge in from these Empire Knights. Point 3 still remains in the hands of the Lizardmen. 1,000 value, 1,000 tickets for the Lizardman side. Empire is having a bit of a tough time here, down to 520 at the moment. Pretty big difference, but not impossible for them to make it up. Point 3, however, is just going to definitely stay in their hands of the Lizardmen. Empire's best bet here is to try to take point 1, as the Lizards don't have a lot of infantry on this side. They only really have the Saurus and a bunch of Monsters infantry here. Razordon getting a very nice engagement here on Coral Franz, and should put in some pretty good work, though Coral Franz does have a lot of supporting fire. And yeah, those Razordon Clausen Hunters are going to take a lot of damage fairly quickly and get terrified.